Now listen carefully, my friends. There are things that only a woman who truly loves a man will do. These aren't the things you'll find in movies or on social media. No, these are the quiet, humble acts that come from a place deeper than what the eye can see. And I'm here to share with you 7 of those things that a woman will do only for the man she loves deeply. The kind of love that doesn't shout but whispers in actions that go unnoticed by most. Let me tell you, if a woman does even one of these for you, consider yourself blessed, for you have found the kind of love that many can only dream of. 1. She makes sacrifices big and small. It starts with sacrifice. A woman who loves you deeply will make sacrifices without a second thought. Now, I'm not talking about the grand gestures you might see in the movies, like giving up her career or moving across the world. Those can happen, of course, but I'm talking about the quiet, everyday sacrifices she makes. The time she spends listening to your worries even when she has her own. The little compromises she makes just to see you happy. You see, love isn't just about what you give. It's about what you're willing to give up, too. Take the example of my dear friend Sarah. She worked long hours as a nurse, and every day she'd come home exhausted. But every time her husband James needed her, no matter how tired she was, she'd put aside her fatigue. She'd listen to his stories, comfort him in his troubles, and make sure his world was at peace. That, my young friend, is love in action. It's the little sacrifices that matter the most. Sacrifice is a word that often gets tossed around in relationships. But when you experience it, you realize its true depth. The small sacrifices a woman setting aside her desires to support your dreams are the unsung heroes of relationships. The true measure of love often lies in these quiet acts of giving up something precious for the sake of someone else. Let me tell you a story from my youth. I had a close friend, Samuel, who worked as a mechanic. He had a dream to open his own garage, but the road to that dream was long and full of obstacles. His wife Rachel worked long hours as a teacher, but every evening she would come home and make sure the bills were paid, the children were taken care of, and that Samuel had enough energy to continue chasing his dream. One day, Samuel's dream became a reality, but it wasn't just his victory, it was Rachel's too. She had sacrificed countless evenings, weekends, and her own comfort so that Samuel could pursue what he truly loved. Now, that's love when someone gives without counting the cost, without expecting anything in return. And when a woman sacrifices for the man she loves, it is a reflection of her deep commitment to him. She gives of herself, and in doing so, she strengthens the bond between them, building a love that grows deeper with every sacrifice. 2. She trusts you even when it's hard. Trust, my young ones, is the foundation of any relationship. But a woman who loves you will trust you even when the world might tell her not to. And that trust doesn't just come easily. It's earned through consistent honesty, transparency, and respect. But when she truly loves, she gives it without hesitation. She might have been hurt before, and the scars might still be there, but she chooses to trust you. I remember an old friend of mine, Joseph. His wife, Liza, had been through some rough relationships before they met. Yet, when she chose him, she trusted him with her heart, even though she could have built walls to protect herself. Trust, my friends, is not something you take lightly, and when a woman offers it to you, treat it with the utmost care, for it is precious beyond words. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. But trust isn't given freely. It's earned, nurtured, and sometimes it's hard to give. A woman who loves you will trust you even when she's been hurt before, even when the past has shown her reasons to doubt. Let's talk about my dear friend Evelyn. She was in a relationship before she met Robert, and let me tell you, it was a painful one. She was hurt deeply by someone she had trusted, and for a while, she found it difficult to open her heart again. But when Robert came along, she saw something different in him. Even though the scars from her past still ached, she chose to trust him. She gave him a chance, and in return, He showed her the loyalty and honesty that she needed to heal. There's an old saying I like to remind myself of. Trust is like paper. Once it's crumpled, it can't be perfect again. But let me tell you, my friends, love has a way of smoothing out those crumples, of giving us the courage to trust again. When a woman trusts you, she's opening her heart to you, allowing herself to be vulnerable. Don't take that trust lightly. It's a gift that deserves your utmost respect. 3. She loves you at your worst. Now, let me tell you something. You see, love isn't just about the good times. When things are easy, when life is smooth, anyone can be loving. But when the storm hits, when you're at your worst, sick, weak, broken, this is when a woman's love truly shines. It's during those difficult moments when she will stand by your side, not out of duty, but out of love. She will hold you when you can't hold yourself up. She will believe in you when you've lost faith in your own abilities. Take, for example, my brother Tom. He lost his job a few years ago and spiraled into a deep depression. His wife, Emma, could have walked away, but she didn't. She stood by him through sleepless nights and endless tears. She never once made him feel less of a man for falling. Instead, she loved him through it, giving him the strength he couldn't find on his own. That is love at its purest, when you're loved despite your imperfections, your flaws, and your darkest hours. This one's a tough pill to swallow, but I'll tell you this. It's easy to love someone when they're at their best. When they're healthy, successful, and full of life, they're easy to love. But the real test of love is when someone loves you at your lowest point, when you're sick, depressed, or at your worst. Let me take you back to a moment in my own life. Years ago, I faced a financial setback that nearly broke me. I felt like a failure. My self-esteem was shattered, and I withdrew into myself. But my wife, Clara, refused to let me stay in that dark place. She loved me with such grace. Even when I felt unworthy of her love, she reminded me of my worth, supported me through my struggles, and never once made me feel less than her equal. Love at your worst is unconditional. It's the kind of love that doesn't ask, "What can you do for me?" but rather says, "I love you, no matter what." It's the love that picks you up when you're lying face down, the love that carries you when you can't walk on your own. 4. She supports your dreams. Now, I know many of you men have dreams. Big dreams, small dreams, it doesn't matter. A woman who loves you deeply will support those dreams. She will encourage you when you doubt yourself. She will cheer for you when no one else does. And she'll stand behind you even when the path seems uncertain. Take my dear friend Bill. He always dreamed of opening his own restaurant, but the fear of failure held him back. His wife, Lucy, didn't just wait for him to find his courage. No, she pushed him. She helped him plan. She took on extra work to support the bills. And when he finally opened his restaurant, she was there in the kitchen, rolling dough beside him. A woman who loves you deeply will be your biggest cheerleader, no matter how crazy the dream might seem. She will invest in your future as if it were her own. A woman who loves you deeply will become your biggest cheerleader. She'll encourage you, push you, and stand by you as you chase your dreams. But here's the catch. She won't just support your dreams in words. No, her support will come in actions. She'll listen when you need to vent about your plans. She'll offer advice when you're stuck, and she'll stand beside you when the world tries to knock you down. Think about my old buddy Frank. He had a passion for photography, but he was stuck in a job that drained him. His wife, Lily, didn't just sit back and let him be unhappy. No, she saw his potential. She supported him by helping him build his portfolio, taking care of the bills while he worked late on his passion, and encouraging him to take risks. Eventually, Frank turned his love for photography into a thriving business. But let me tell you, none of that would have been possible without Lily's unwavering support. There's a beautiful quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson that I think sums this up perfectly. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. A woman who loves you will help you blaze that trail, even when it seems impossible. 5. She holds you accountable. You might not like this one, but a woman who truly loves you will hold you accountable. She won't just let you slide by, ignoring your flaws or allowing you to make excuses for bad behavior. No, she will challenge you to be better, to live up to the man you can be, not just the man you are today. I remember back when I was younger, I tended to avoid confrontation. I'd let things slide just to keep the peace. But when I married Sarah, she was the one who told me, no, you need to stand up for what's right. At first, I didn't like it. I didn't want to hear it. But she was right. She loved me enough to call me out, to push me toward growth. And it was one of the greatest gifts she could give me. Now, let me be clear. Love isn't about letting someone get away with everything. Love is about growth, and growth requires accountability. A woman who loves you will not let you slide into complacency or self-destructive behavior. She will call you out when you're wrong, challenge you to be better, and never let you settle for mediocrity. I think of my friend Michael. He was lazy with his health for years, putting off exercise and eating poorly. His wife, Helen, wasn't afraid to speak the truth to him. She didn't just sit idly by while he neglected himself. She pushed him to get healthier, joined him for walks, cooked meals that were good for both of them, and never let him off the hook. At first, Michael resented it, but eventually, he realized that Helen wasn't trying to control him, she was trying to help him live his best life. As the old saying goes, the truth hurts, but it heals. A woman who loves you enough to tell you the truth is helping you grow into the man you're meant to be. 6. She forgives you, even when it's hard. We all make mistakes, my young ones, and we all fall short at times. But a woman who loves you deeply will forgive you, even when the wound feels too deep to heal. She won't hold grudges. She won't throw your past mistakes in your face every time you disagree. No, she will forgive and move forward, because her love for you is greater than any mistake you've made. I think back to a time when I made a grave mistake, something I still regret to this day. My wife, bless her heart, forgave me. She didn't forget, but she forgave. And that forgiveness gave me the strength to be a better man, never to repeat the mistakes I made. Forgiveness is one of the hardest acts of love. When someone wrongs us, especially someone we love deeply, the hurt can be so profound that forgiveness seems impossible. But when a woman loves you deeply, she will forgive you even when it's hard. I've witnessed this firsthand in the marriage of my good friend James and his wife Patricia. James made a terrible mistake. He lied about something important. At first, Patricia was crushed, but after some time, she forgave him. She didn't forget, but she forgave. And in doing so, she freed both of them. As the Bible says, forgive, and you will be forgiven. Forgiveness doesn't mean you erase the hurt. It means you choose to move forward, to release the grip of resentment. And when a woman forgives, she is not only healing herself, but she is also giving you the chance to be better. 7. She chooses you every day. Finally, a woman who loves you deeply will choose you every single day. Love is a choice, my friends, and she will choose you over and over, even on the days when things aren't perfect. She chooses you not because she has to, but because she wants to. She sees something in you, something worth fighting for, and that is why she chooses you, day in and day out. And if you're lucky enough to have someone like that in your life, someone who chooses you even when life gets tough, you hold on to them with all you've got. Because that kind of love is rare, my young friend. I remember watching my grandparents grow old together. Every day, without fail, my grandmother would make my grandfather his morning coffee. She didn't have to, but she did. And my grandfather would always say, "She chose me when we were young, and she still chooses me every day." That's the kind of love that transcends the superficial. It's the kind of love that lasts through the seasons of life. the kind that chooses to stay, even when everything around you is changing. Now, my friends, as you've heard these stories, think carefully about the love you receive. If you're fortunate enough to experience any of these things, consider yourself blessed. But also remember, love is a two-way street. If she chooses you, supports you, forgives you, and trusts you, then you must do the same for her. Only then will you experience a love that lasts a lifetime. If this story has touched your heart, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to The Modern Stoic for more stories and wisdom on living a life filled with ancient insights and modern practices. Keep loving, keep growing, and keep making every day count.